Hey you guys, what's up? It's your girl Cree. Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'd like to bring you guys a huge declutter. I'm going to finally be showcasing to you guys all of the perfumes that I have recently gotten rid of. I've been decluttering for the last probably 2 to 3 months, I think. Pretty much, I think since the summer started, I've been decluttering slowly but surely, and I have gotten rid of a lot, whether it be Middle Eastern, whether it be designer, niche, whatever the case, whatever wasn't working for me, I got rid of it. I've also gotten rid of a slew of Bath & Body Works. I'll be sure to let you guys tap that button up there. I'll leave a card for you guys to check that out if you haven't. I have a whole series on that, and I will be bringing more soon, so just stay tuned for that. But in today's video, we're gonna focus on all of those perfumes that are no longer a part of my collection anymore, and I'm happy about it. Some of these you may have seen in my collection video, and some of them didn't even make it to that because they were already gone. Now, I will give a disclaimer. I'm pretty sure that none of these will be listed on my card anymore, even though you can follow me there just in case anything were to arise and I decide to declutter further. You can easily pick that up and you will be, notified once it's up there. You'll already be ahead of anybody else. But for the most part, all of this stuff is already gone, and so I'll probably leave a picture or something up there. But yeah, today is gonna be just real relaxed, real chill type of vibes. I just want to show you guys what I got rid of, what's no longer in my collection, and give you my thoughts as to why, or if it was that I have various reasons for decluttering. So it could be that I didn't care for the fragrance, or it could just be that it's redundant in my collection. So either way, I'll be sharing that with you guys today. So if that sounds like something you'd like to see, then you'll want to continue to watch. While you're watching this video, if you find that you do enjoy the content, I really would love for you to subscribe to the channel if you so choose. But if nothing else, please hit the like button for your girl and let me know that you like this content and that you'd like to see more like this from me. All right, with no further ado, let's get into it. All right, y'all, so I have a whole notebook, huge list of declutters, y'all, just to remind me. I have not prepared for this, so this is literally me coming out the dome. I'm just gonna read off the ones that I have and whatever thoughts that immediately come to mind about the fragrance, if I can recall. Some of these have been gone for quite a while, so just bear with me. So first up, we have Mango Punch, and Mango Punch was from Paris Corner Emir. That was a Middle Eastern fragrance. It was like a fruity, musky, very bright, very tangy, fruity perfume. I got rid of that fragrance because I immediately knew it was not for me. This was literally right after my haul. So if you guys saw my haul, I knew then that I probably wouldn't keep it, and so I didn't. So yeah, that is no longer in my collection. I passed that off to someone on Mercari. Next up is Tasking Marina. Y'all, this fragrance, from what I recall, this was also in that fruity fragrance family, really fruity and musky scent. I think this may have had, I'm not really sure what it had in that. I feel like it had passion fruit in there. I really don't recall, you guys, but I just know it was a really fruity fragrance, but it also leaned a little unisex, if I'm not mistaken. And again, this was one, though this was nice, I just knew I would not reach for it. This year, I really discovered that I'm more of a fruity floral type of girl. I do like some gourmands here and there. I do like some clean scents for sure. I love clean scents, but I don't need them in excess, and I definitely don't need a whole bunch of fruity perfumes. That's kind of what I got body mist for, because that's the vibe that it gives me. I rarely want to smell like a fruit all day long, if that makes any sense. So I'm cool with my body mist when it comes to that, and so I just didn't see a purpose for certain perfumes, and that was one that just didn't make the cut for me, so that had to go. Next up, I had Caramel Cascade. Yes, y'all, that was the one that initially was deemed as the best Bianco latte dupe. It was the only one at the time. I think it was the first one that most of us know about. If I didn't say so before, you guys, the prior fragrance, Tasking Marina, that was Middle Eastern as well. That came from Paris Corner, as did Caramel Cascade. That also came from Paris Corner. It seems like me and Paris Corner don't really see eye to eye with a lot of fragrances. That one particularly, that just gave me root beer, y'all, through and through. It was a very tonic, sweet fragrance. It got really close, in my opinion, to Bianco Latte, but it was something about the dry down of that fragrance. Even the opening, it stayed the same for me. It just was root beer. through and through. And I don't care for root beer not to smell, like, you know what I mean? I didn't want to smell like it, and I just couldn't get past that. And I know for some people, like, as it dried down and over time, you know, it was something that they liked. And some people don't mind that root beer smell. I do. I happen to be one who does, so it bothered me. And I just wasn't interested in keeping it just to, you know, try with it. I had already found an alternative, so no. I'm just not into that anymore, you guys. I'm not keeping things hoping that they get better. I'm not keeping things that I don't immediately love. I'm not keeping things just to pair things with them to keep, if you get what I'm saying. And I'm good for that, y'all. I'm queen of the combos. Like, I will combine some things to make some things happen. And there are fragrances I'm willing to do that with if I kind of sort of like it. You know what I mean? But with that, I couldn't get with it at all. Like, it really made my stomach turn. So that was a no. So she's gone. No disrespect to anybody who really loves that fragrance. Keep doing what you do. Next up, we have How I Read. And How I Read was one that I also hauled. You guys gonna see a theme in here. Okay, there are a lot of Middle Eastern fragrances that didn't work, pretty much because we blind buy a lot of those. And so unless you're patient enough to get a decant, and then a lot of those are very new, so sometimes you can't, you kind of end up with a bunch that you don't like. So buyer beware for all of you guys who are watching, who are just getting into this lane. It's good to watch these kind of videos as well as the hauls, so you see what made the cut and what didn't. How I Read, you guys, all I remember is that being a fragrance that I just didn't like it. It's just through and through. I just didn't like it. It wasn't for me. I wasn't going to pull for it. I don't remember the notes in there. I kind of vaguely remember what it smells like, but I can't put into words what I got from it. It just wasn't one that I loved and knew I would grab for. So yeah, I let it go. Hopefully to somebody who's loving it now. Next up, y'all hear noise in the background. My son is running around here playing, so just disregard. Yeah. All right, so next up, another Middle Eastern fragrance that I did go ahead and hand off to someone else is the Bain Al Asrar. Yeah, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it was marketed as a guidance dupe, Amouage guidance dupe, and I had never smelled guidance before. I was kind of just biting the bullet. As soon as it came out, I remember purchasing it. I really don't even know why, but the people sold it so well on YouTube. And I'm not saying the dupe, they literally sold guidance so well. And then I did hear just a few people that I kind of, you know, trust their judgment a little, you know what I mean? Based off of the way that people raved about it, I thought it would be something that I enjoyed, the original. And I thought maybe, you know, if this is at least in the same ballpark, maybe I can get a feel for if I would like the fragrance. No, ma'am. I didn't like that at all. That scent profile is just not for me. It smelled dated to me, like for a much older woman. No shade to anybody. I'm pretty young. You know, I'm in my 30s. It was giving older woman to me, just the smell, and I just didn't care for it. So that's a no. I can't confirm that that's a good dupe. I don't even care. It's just the scent in itself, it was not for me. So the next one up is Boutique Watermelon. I think is how that's pronounced. I'm not sure. If it's not, forgive me, y'all. I don't know. But this was Boutique Watermelon. This is the one. A lot of people love this. I hauled it as well with a lot of these others. This one I got rid of simply because I have a body mist that smells like it, and I didn't feel like I needed it in perfume form because I wasn't pulling for it. Like, I had it for a few months and realized, like, look, I'm not gonna wear this. You know, it's colder here where I'm from longer than it's warm, and in the time that I had it, I just was never gonna pull for it. And I just felt like, well, somebody else can, you know, probably get some good use out of it. Someone may really love watermelon scents. It's just not me. So again, I'm stepping away from some of the impulse purchases that I used to do. I'm really not into that anymore. I don't really promote that on my channel. I don't get everything that comes out. I don't push that on my viewers, but the things that I really like, you know, I'll share it. But I'm not going up for things like that. Like, I'm really trying to have a collection that I really enjoy and that, again, represents me. I have a whole video on that on my channel, but I'm just trying not to buy into that heavy over consumption and trying to rework my mind and do better. You live, you learn, you know better, you do better, and that's what I'm trying to do over here. So yeah, I had to let that one go. Even though it's a very nice fragrance, it is a very candy-like Jolly Rancher watermelon fragrance. That's what I got from it. Very nice, nothing wrong with it. I just didn't see the need. And the Bath and Body Works scent that to me was very similar was Groovy Watermelon. I have that, and I have been trying to get through that because again, I decluttered over there as well, and I'm trying to get through all of my like fruity scents like that I won't really pull for. So I didn't see a purpose to have both. I decided to go ahead and get rid of that one, and I'll focus on the body mist. And yeah, so that found a new home. I have a few more. I'm trying to group all of my Middle Eastern declutters together and then, you know, go from there. But yeah, I think I have like 2 more, you guys, so bear with me, and then we'll get into the other fragrances. So next up, I also decluttered Tharwa Gold, and that was supposed to be an inspired by fragrance of YSL Libre Intense. Honestly, when I got that fragrance, it was very, very strong. I do think it's reminiscent of the Libres, but I have the original, the EDP. I have the Le Parfum, which is one of my favorites. I love to layer those 2 together, and I had plans and intentions on getting the Intense just to have it because I have them all in 1 ounces. I'm cool with that, and I said I was going to wait until the original was emptied, and then I will go ahead and pick up the Intense. You know, push come to shove, I heard about the dupe. I'm like, well, let's just give it a try. I really love the bottle and how it looks. Y'all, I got it, and it smelled so masculine to me. Like, it smelled like a man. I still feel that way to this day. I still can remember. I remember spraying it on something, and it filled the whole area where I was, but it smelled so much like a man. I just couldn't take it. And I know a lot of people may feel that way about the original Libre or just Libre in general, that line, but to me it's completely unisex. A man could wear it, but also a woman can wear it and really push her femininity in there. And for me, that one, it just leaned way too masculine for me. It was just giving man. Like, I got on men's cologne. I can't do it. I can't do it. And then the last, let me see, let me check real quick. Let me look at my list and go over it. I'm pretty sure this is the last. Okay, second to last. I lied, y'all. I had 3 total, so I got 2 more. So 4. Okay, let me not even do that. I also got rid of Delilah. I never brought this to my channel, but Delilah was a Delina dupe. And simply put, I gave that to a cousin of mine's. I got rid of that simply because I don't care for the Delina scent profile. I just don't. It smelled very similar to me. I have a sample over there, a couple samples, sample and a travel size of Delina. I keep it just for reference. That smelled very close, but I just don't care for the scent. So I had no reason to keep it. So I passed it along. Did I mention that this would be a long video? Yeah, girl, this is going to be a long video. So I hope you got your wine and your feet put up because it's gonna be a long one. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy. If you love a good declutter, then you're right where you need to be. If not, I don't know what to tell you. Just sit back and try to enjoy it. I appreciate you clicking on the video though. So How I Pink. So How I Pink is a fragrance that I heard from the YouTuber, I think Paulina Shar was the one who I heard initially about that fragrance. And I'm telling y'all, I waited a long time to get that fragrance because once she puts something out there, puts her stamp on it, people buy it up immediately. You can't find it. And I don't even know if she's in the States, but it's like that all over. It's hard to get it. And when I finally got my hands on it, it was marketed to be, or she stated that she felt it was a 1-to-1 Delina La Rose dupe. I never smelled that, but I don't care for Delina because of the rhubarb and some of that tart lychee. And but there are parts of it that I do think are very beautiful. And I was like, well, I heard this was more an aquatic leaning type like La Rose was. And I'm like, well, if this is a dupe for that, then I'll give it a try. Love the bottle, absolutely love it. I actually still have that fragrance. Unless someone here tells me that they want it, that I plan to get rid of it. But wanted to bring that to you guys. Yeah, for me, the part of the Delina that I don't care for, I could still smell it in there. Like that rhubarb was still hitting, pushing through, as well as the like sourness. I don't know if that's I don't know what that is, but it just bothers me and I just couldn't get with it. So yeah, that was a no. I even tried with it for a while. I did, but I tried to sell it before, nobody picked it up, so I don't think anybody likes it as much as it seems. So lastly, for the Middle Eastern fragrances, the last one that I have decluttered is, oh my god, I keep doing that. Okay, the next one up is Pear Potion. Pear Potion is one that I did go ahead and let go of because fragrance was a pear scent, but it also had a green apple. The pear and green apple paired really nicely together, but I actually feel like I got more apple than I did of the pear. either way, it was a nice scent. Again, one of those fruity perfumes. It was kind of sweet. It had like some raspberry and some caramel in there. A nice fragrance. It really was. It kind of reminded me of a body mist. I knew I wouldn't wear it, you guys. It wasn't what I was expecting. I really expected something to wow me. I don't know why, but I did. And it wasn't for me. I wasn't going to wear it either way. Even it was nice. I'm not saying it is bad, but I wasn't going to wear it. So I let it go. Lastly on my list is Shagaf Oud Tonka. Shagaf Oud Tonka was the one that was in that beautiful bluish, tealish packaging. Oh my God, it was so gorgeous. That literally sold me with the gold top. I kind of didn't care for the fact that the gold top was actually like kind of plastic. So that kind of like took some points off. But beyond that, the packaging itself was beautiful. A lot of people really love that scent. I think it was supposed to be marketed as a maybe inspired by a fragrance of Velvet Tonka, maybe trying to dupe Velvet Tonka. I'm not sure. I don't have that fragrance. I don't think I've ever smelled it, but it sounded like something that I would like based off of the notes. It was supposed to give like this beautiful almond and tonka, and kind of gave like a cherry vibe in the opening. For me, the only problem with that fragrance was that mine didn't have the best longevity, but I don't really care about that. It lasted a long enough time for me to keep it if I liked it. But the scent profile was like a dusty almond. I'll never forget. And that was it. That cherry subsided, like that cherry that gave you like that Jergens cherry almond type of vibe. I love that in the opening, but the dry down for me just didn't do it. I even tried pairing it and layering it with some of the cherry scents that I have, and I just didn't care for it. And I was like, I'm not gonna wear this. And I was like halfway through the bottle though, but I went ahead and let that go. Didn't force it, didn't want to force my hand with it, so I just let it go. And yeah, I feel good about that. That is the last of the Middle Eastern fragrances that I have decluttered.
Wrong. Sorry, y'all. I actually left out quite a few scents that I decluttered that I completely forgot about when I made this list. So let me just drop in a few. The first one is Melody Orientica. This was a fragrance that was like a dupe of Memo Centra Paris, I think. Yeah, I got rid of this fragrance because it was just too green for me. I think it was a good dupe of that fragrance. From what I could see from the reviews, a lot of people said that it was very similar. Those that had the actual fragrance, I did not, but it was just too green. It was a beautiful marshmallow and neroli type of fragrance. It was nice when it dried down, and it took forever to get to that beautiful dry down. But y'all, it was so green. And when I say green, I mean sharp like green grass. I couldn't take it, so I had to get rid of that one. I also more recently got rid of Orientica's Amber Rouge. You guys, this is the infamous Bakarat Rouge dupe. A lot of people say this is like spot on or very, very close. Yeah, it's just not for me. It's the profile of Bakarat. I'm getting back to the place where I don't care for it again. I just don't care for it, y'all. It's just not a loved scent of mine. I do still have my finery dupes, and I like those. They're okay, but yeah, it's just not my go-to scent. You know what I mean? It's just not for me. That profile is just not one I love. So I went ahead and parted ways with this one. Plus, this one never got to a place where I really could enjoy it. It smelled like something unpleasant. Like, it just didn't smell like it was a fully composed scent. Yeah, I went ahead and got rid of mine. So that's another one that I forgot to add.
Now we're going to get into all the rest, which includes designer, niche, what have you. So yeah, if y'all ready for part 2, then real quick, go ahead and hit the like button if you haven't. Okay, thank you. Let's get into it. Yeah, I told y'all this is gonna be a long video, right? I mean, what I tell you. So I actually had plans to only film this video today because I knew my throat was gonna be hurting when I was done, because I have so many fragrances on this list, and I'm gonna try my hardest to just hit them and move on. But I do want to give you guys a little bit of synopsis of what I remember or why I got rid of it. So I'm just going to try to hit them and go, y'all, because I really don't want to hold you too long. But I know y'all going to sit back and chill and watch this. It's going to be that type of chill type of vibe. So hopefully you don't mind if I'm a little lengthy, but I'm trying to move, okay? Next up on the list of declutters, I have Victoria's Secret Tease. I did get rid of that fragrance. It was pretty much brand new. I think it was a 1.7 ounce. I simply got rid of that because I wasn't wearing it. This was before I knew that they were going to come out with Victoria's Secret Tease Sugar Fleur, and they did, and I'm very happy to have that. Glad I got rid of that now in hindsight, because I didn't need both of those. So yeah, I have that one. Yeah, I got rid of it just because I don't wear it. That's really it. But it's nothing wrong with the fragrance. It smells like Victoria's Secret teas, always has. Very nice, very easygoing. It's just not something I reach for. So next up, I got rid of the Dapper fragrances. So on my channel, it's been a little interesting. I did a haul maybe a year ago of Dapper fragrances. It might have been the top of the year. I did a haul for Dapper fragrances. I got several fragrances, and I have been trying for months to wear them, enjoy them, get to know them, and ultimately I'm left with one. I have one left, and I did go through a couple of them, so admittedly I do have a few that I enjoy, but for the most part they're just not for me. There's an underlying scent that I found in those fragrances that I didn't care for. Not trying to deter anyone else from purchasing from them. You can do as you please. All I'm saying is they don't have my stamp of approval. There were some dupes that I felt were better than others, but you do what you will. I'm just here to share with you the ones that I got rid of. First one would be Glazed Ecstasy. Now that one was one that I actually enjoyed. If I'm not mistaken, it's like a apricot custard, like gourmand type of fragrance. It smelled really, really good. I got rid of that when it was like halfway through, just to allow someone else to try it. That was one of my favorites from them. And I also got rid of Bianco Latte by them because I purchased the actual Bianco Latte, so I no longer had a need for the dupe. I did feel like they did a pretty good job with that one. Also got rid of Escapade Gourmand, which is another one that I actually did kind of like, but it just didn't wow me, so I just decided to pair those together and sell them together. I thought that would be easier than breaking them all up. And then I also got rid of Acro Bake, and I did that because I picked up Acro Bake, which I absolutely love. I did not feel like that fragrance was spot on personally. I think it got close. I can put you in the ballpark, but I don't think it's the same as the original fragrance. So I decided to pass that along for someone who wants to maybe try that out. Those are the fragrances that I got rid of from them. Next up, you guys, I got rid of Girl of Now Shine by Elie Saab. Yes, so that is that beautiful gourmand fragrance, heavy orange blossom. I think that one has almond and pistachio, and it has pineapple. That's what separates it from the original. And for me, it was just a very sickeningly sweet fragrance. It's too much for me to wear in the summertime or the winter. I just don't. It's too cloying. It's like suffocating to me, you know. Even though I think it's a nice fragrance, it's too much for me to actually wear on my skin, and it's kind of headache inducing as well. So I got rid of that, you guys. I gave that to one of my aunts. I also got rid of Cloud Pink, you guys. Yeah, me and Cloud Pink, we had to separate. Cloud Pink, simply put, was a pretty fragrance. It reminds you of cloud, but it had like a fruity touch to it. I think it had like what's that it had in there? Maybe pineapple? I'm not sure, y'all. I don't remember. But Cloud Pink, first of all, it had no lasting power whatsoever, but when it dried down, something came off synthetic. It was like sugary sweet, and I liked that, but something about it came out very synthetic, and that's why I got rid of it. Along with the next fragrance, I think I sold these together, maybe not, but I also got rid of Le Monde Gourmand's Sucré de Cotton. That was like a inexpensive fragrance I picked up like at TJ Maxx, and it smelled kind of like sugar as well, like kind of like a sugary sweet cotton candy scent, but it had that same similar dry down to Cloud Pink, where it just started to smell like an artificial sweetener. I didn't care for it on the skin, so I passed that along. Next up, I got rid of a Clean Reserve Skin. I got rid of Clean Reserve Skin not for the reason that you think. It's not because I don't like the fragrance. To be honest, I got rid of that fragrance because I had two. I had one and I had a backup. I still have one to the left of me, behind me, but I didn't feel like I had a need to have both of them because I knew I wouldn't go through the original quick enough to need the other. So I went ahead and got rid of that. It's not because I don't like the fragrance. I still thoroughly enjoy that fragrance, but I also would hear things about the fact that since those are clean scents, that they don't have the same longevity as far as like how long they will last. They could expire soon. So I wanted to give someone else the opportunity to try that out instead of just sitting in my collection going bad. So that's why I got rid of that. It's not at all because I don't like it. I still stand 10 toes down. Well, since we started with skin, we might as well get into Clean Reserve Radiant Nectar because I also did the same thing with that. Clean Reserve Radiant Nectar is the one that has that pear. It's a really nice, very literal pear scent. If you really like pear, I highly recommend that one. But again, I had a backup. I had went through one and then I had a backup, and I decided to pass on the backup because I found it to be very similar to the one that I love, which is Sparkling Sugar. They have their differences, but they were like a similar profile, and I was just like, it's too much. It's too much redundancy. Let someone else try it. So that's why I got rid of that. Then next up, Amo Ferragamo. This was also a backup. I had an original that I went through probably halfway. I even have a picture. And then I had a backup of that. I decided to keep the backup, the fresh bottle, and then I gave the open one to someone else, just a family friend. So got rid of Mon Guerlain. Mon Guerlain is a beautiful, sophisticated lavender and vanilla fragrance. With that one, you know, the licorice actually did bother me in Mon Guerlain. I don't think it does for a lot of people, but it did for me. It's a very aromatic vanilla fragrance, very heavy on that, and it kind of leaned just a tad masculine. Like that lavender came off in a way I didn't care for, and it just seemed a bit mature. It always seemed a bit mature. I've always said that. It's a beautiful fragrance, but I just knew I would never pull for it. Like if I had to choose my lavender and vanilla, it would always be Lieb. So I just went ahead and parted ways with it. Though I do appreciate the beauty of the fragrance, it just wasn't for me. So I passed that along. Lancome Eau. I also got rid of Lancome Eau, you guys. That was a fragrance that is like a rose scented fragrance. You know, I just was never going to wear it. I also have a body mist that I feel smells very similar to that, and that is, I actually like the body mist better, you guys. The name of it is lost on me at the moment, but if I think of it, I put it up there. But yeah, you guys, as long as I have that, and I've yet to really pull for that, I already knew I wasn't going to pull for the perfume. So I'm like, yeah, let me go ahead and get rid of that, give it to someone else who can use it. So that's what I did.
Hey guys, it's me again, forgetting things. I also got rid of Chloe, you guys, which is another rose scent that I thought was very beautiful, very dainty, very much giving polished grown woman vibes. But this was one that I just realized that I was never going to pull for. I hadn't been pulling for it in the time that I had it, and so I decided to let that go.
I also decluttered D&G's Perfume Intense. That was like your marshmallow, orange blossom, and neroli perfume. It was actually different than most people look at orange blossom scented fragrances these days. But I had it for quite a long time, you guys. I actually had the original, then I got the Intense. This was like early on in my perfume buying journey, and I wasn't wearing it. And so I was like, let me just give it to someone who will. It wasn't a bad fragrance at all. I just didn't pull for it. So it was collecting dust, and I'm like, can't do that no more. So I got rid of it. Burberry Her Blossom, I got rid of that. One of the flankers of Burberry Her, it smells nothing like the original. Not really. Like only a little bit in the beginning, and then it goes a complete different way. It's more floral heavy. And though I liked it, I smelled it in the store and everything. I didn't blind buy it, but when I picked it up and got it home, I was just like, I'm not going to wear this. I have other floral scents that I prefer, and I'm not even pulling for them. So I was like, that's not one of those category of fragrances that I need an abundance of. Like, give me one or two and I'm good. Also got rid of Burberry Her, you guys. I decluttered that and gave that to a friend, let her walk off with it, because I never was a big fan of it in the first place. So yep, let it go. La Vanilla Pure Vanilla. That was an inexpensive perfume that I bought off of Amazon. It is a vanilla fragrance. It reminded me initially of like Kayali Vanilla 28, but it's not like that exactly. But it kind of reminded me of that. The difference was this was more like a clean version. It was clean, as in a clean fragrance, and it also smelled clean to me, like powder. It was like a powdery, strong fragrance, kind of light wearing. It was nice, but I wasn't wearing it. And that's the truth for most of these. Like the bottom line is I wasn't wearing the fragrances, so I didn't want to keep it. Aquatic. I also got rid of MAC Aquatic, you guys, and I actually had that for about a year, I think. I bought MAC Aquatic and I had the biggest bottle, you guys. I got rid of that because I didn't love it. It wasn't bad. Wasn't bad at all. Very beautiful fragrance. would smell good on someone else. It smelled fine on me, but I wouldn't choose it over anything else that I had. So I didn't see a purpose of keeping it. And again, that goes for a lot. There are plenty of fragrances on this list that I actually do think are nice fragrances, but if I'm not going to wear them, if I'm not choosing them, what are we doing? You know? So I let that go. Y'all, did I just say Mac Aquatic? I'm sorry. I was speaking about Ocean de Joya, the blue bottle. I'm sorry. All of what I said still holds true. It's just I was talking about Ocean de Joya. I'm sorry. Ocean de Joya is the one. And actually, piggybacking off of that, I also decluttered Aqua de Joya as well. I got rid of that as well. Gave it to a cousin of mine. You guys, I had that one in a smaller bottle, but I had the Ocean de Joya in the bigger bottle. And I got rid of both of those because Ocean de Joya I liked better. If I had to choose between the two, I would keep that one, but I didn't need either one because I wasn't pulling for it. Now Ocean de Joya versus Aqua de Joya. Aqua de Joya was the one that had like that mint note and brown sugar and lemon. Y'all, that mint note turned me off. Like I could smell it on my skin when I would spray that. I didn't care for it, which leads me to my next declutter. Mac Aquatic, which is the one I think I accidentally said initially in place of Ocean de Joya, but I meant Ocean de Joya. Mac Aquatic smelled very similar to me. It smelled like a blend of Dolce & Gabbana light blue mixed with Ocean de Joya, like an aquatic leaning version of light blue, but not as strong. I just knew I was gonna love that fragrance, y'all. It has gotten hyped to no end on YouTube for years, and it didn't wow me. I didn't care for it at all, really. So I immediately got rid of that. Another fragrance I got rid of was Pepe Jean's London for Women. And that is the one that is in that martini glass. Y'all, I got that fragrance because it was said to smell like a pina colada. And then I got it and noticed that it smelled not just like a pina colada. Like it did have that tropical vibe though, don't get me wrong. Like that pineapple-y coconut vibe. But it also smelled very similar to Sol de Janeiro Charosta 62. Oh my god, y'all, it has been duped to no end. Like I can't anymore. Like at this point, that's up there with Bakarat Rouge. Like I just can't. I can't anymore. Like, so I got rid of that fragrance, y'all. I got rid of that and I sold that on Mercari. So yeah, that fragrance, and it didn't last. It had terrible lasting power. Like you would spray it and immediately it was gone. I couldn't smell it. Plus I have Sol de Janeiro Charosta 62, the perfume, 2 of them. I had one that was like half full and I had a backup, and then I have the body spray. Like come on. Like come on. That's me being intentional now about the crazy mess that I was doing back then. No more. But this is me bringing it to you now, new and improved. Now we get into the last few, you guys. Thank God I still got a little bit of a voice, so let me hurry up. So the next one on the list that I got rid of was Charosta 48. And actually, I think I went ahead and decluttered this together with Cloud Pink. I think one of my subs grabbed it up. Thank God for you, sis. I got rid of that fragrance because immediately when I smelled that was one of the newer Charostas that came out, and it smelled to me like, I can actually tell you because I have it right here. Victoria's Secret mist that I have, Pastel Sugar Sky, which I also decluttered the back of this. Y'all, it smelled just like it. Just like it. And to put it in perspective, it also gave me the same vibes or similar vibe to I'm a Musk that Finery has, and it also smelled like Ariana Grande's Thank You Next, I think it is. I don't have that fragrance, but it's the one that people say smells like pickles. Yeah, it's the sandalwood in there that does it. And yeah, I was floored when I got that and noticed that, oh my god, that's what that smells like. And so for that reason, I passed that along. We are actually down to the last few, you guys. So next up on the list that I got rid of was Musk Noir Rose. This was the one where everybody went nuts about because people swore that it was like the sexiest fragrance on earth for women. There was like a video that went viral. I think it may be on TikTok. I'm not on there, y'all, but a girl was walking and someone asked her like, oh my god, you smell amazing, what do you have on? And she whips out the perfume, and said perfume is Musk Noir Rose. Y'all, I just knew I had to have it. I got it. I remember it being supposedly limited edition and you couldn't find it anywhere. I was so excited to get my hands on it, and girl got it and didn't like it. I did not like it, but I was totally committed to forcing myself to enjoy that fragrance. And baby, I tried my hardest, and I thought I did. I thought I had got it. I thought I had a few combos that could allow me to enjoy it. When I really sat with myself and thought about it, when it was time for me to curate my collection, which I've done and I'm still working on, I'm trying to get it really down to a certain number, and I'm working hard on that. But yes, I went through my collection, combed through, and I'm really examining the fragrances that I have, like which ones do I love, which ones do I not really care for, which ones can go. It was like top of the list. It was like I'm holding on to it based off of the aesthetic of it. I would never wear this. I would never choose it over anything else that I had. So with that, it's not that it was bad. It was heavy on the musk. It was heavy on the maturity. A maturity level I have not reached yet. So I got rid of it. Moving on. Last two on the list. The first up is Prada Paradox, you guys. I got rid of Prada Paradox. And it's funny because I was so reluctant to get it in the first place, and then I fell into whatever hype. I don't know. I don't even know if it's hype or if it was just like, I need to get Prada Paradox. I think I like the bottle, honestly. I'm a sucker for a bottle too. I normally don't buy for a bottle, but I've had my moments, okay? Admittedly, don't judge me, judge your mama. But don't judge nobody, y'all. I'm just kidding. I got that fragrance, and I think I tried to force myself to enjoy it more than I really did. You know what I mean? And I found ways to layer with it, don't get me wrong. And of course, I always do. That's how I became as good at layering, in my opinion, as I am, because there were several fragrances that I didn't care for. And instead of wanting to just throw them away, I wanted to use them. But now I'm done with that. Like, I mean, I still layer, but it's layering for my own satisfaction. I'm not layering to enjoy the fragrance. If I don't like it, I don't like it. It can go. All that to say, I got rid of Prada Paradox because, number one, initially when I got it, I always thought, when I used to smell that in the store, that, oh my God, it's just like Donna Born aroma. Why would they even make that? Like, it's literally the same. Until I got it. And then I got it and I said, oh no, it's not the same. It's definitely different. They had a really bright orange opening. I remember that. Like a very juicy orange in the opening. And then they had, I think, neroli in there, an orange blossom. Ultimately, what did it for me in that fragrance, and what was the deciding factor in making me get rid of it, is the jasmine. Y'all, the jasmine in there, it didn't click to me until I saw someone's review about it. And this was an older review. Obviously, Prada Paradox isn't new, and I only just acquired it this year and got rid of it. I heard someone compare it to Alien, like a mix between Alien and something else. I can't even remember who it was or exactly what they said, but as soon as they said that, it might have been like Alien and Donna Born aroma. Oh, it was done for me. I was like, it's the jasmine, because I think the jasmine in Alien is what makes most people not care for it, which I don't care for the fragrance either. That's just my opinion. I don't care for it. I'm not one of those people. But yeah, the jasmine in Prada Paradox, I found when wearing it, even if I layered it over time, that jasmine got stronger and stronger and stronger. It was so in your face. It was so heady, and I couldn't do it. I'm not into it. Jasmine has to be done a certain way. There are some jasmines that are stronger than others. And like for me, the one that I love, and even though it's very strong, it's Donna Born aroma. That's it for me. I had to let that one go, even though I really enjoyed the bottle and I didn't want to, but you know. Last but certainly not least, y'all, this fragrance was the hardest for me to let go of, period. It just was, because this fragrance was one that seemed to me like everybody loved. Even I thought I did. I did initially. Like, I waited a long time to get it. I waited for a sale. It never goes on sale. I got it at a Sephora sale last year. Waited and waited and waited on it. And that fragrance is Kilian's Princess. I know a lot of people love that fragrance. Look, even you looking at me right now, you love that fragrance. So what it is for me is that fragrance, what people like to highlight is, oh, it's such a cozy, fluffy marshmallow scent. And for me, the marshmallow was so far in the back, and it didn't even have to be front and centered. What took over the scent profile for me and made it to where I'm like, I don't really care for this, I'll say it was the matcha tea. The matcha tea for me, I don't think I really care for a lot of tea fragrances, but specifically in there, the matcha tea was a no-go. It was a no-go. It overpowered everything. It was all like a smell, along with the fact that this scent, as expensive as it is, and it even went up, you guys, it's even higher than it was now, and the bottle is still a 1 point. So like, what the hell? But anyway, off on a tangent. But the fragrance itself just did not last. It was, I just, if I loved it, it would have been awful, because I just would have sprayed so much of it. You never knew where you were at, because it was a complete black bottle that you really couldn't see through. Even if you held it up to light, at least I couldn't. I didn't love it. I thought I did when I first got it. Hell, maybe I did, but I grew out of love for it. And the fact that it was just so expensive, I never even wanted to pull for it, because I'm just like, oh my god, if I start to like it wasn't for me, y'all. It wasn't. So that was one of my hardest to part with, because not only did I think I kind of liked the fragrance, but I spent good money on it, and I'm like, I know I'm not gonna get back what I paid. But what if you want it again? Like, what if you decide, oh my god, I made a mistake? But y'all, it's been gone now for like maybe a month, and girl, it's just fine. Out with the old, in with the new, or keep what you got. You know what I'm saying? Be satisfied with what you have. But yeah, y'all, I'm happy with all of the declutters that I have made. I have no regrets. I absolutely enjoy and love all of what I have right now. For the most part, if there's anything else that I don't, I will gladly get rid of it, and I will bring it to you guys. Hey y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too long. I know this is gonna be a long video. Y'all just gonna have to sit back, relax, and deal with me, okay? Show me love. I appreciate y'all. As my mom would always say, 2 things you always do: look good and smell good. That's exactly what you do, girl. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like to see more videos like these from your girl, or you like my vibe, go ahead and hit that sub button, and I will see you guys in the next video. If you do nothing else, take care of yourself, and girl, smell good out here. Bye. More than a woman, a goddess, we all see.